live from the Screwball Whiskey Studios. SKREW ballwhiskey.com. Tomorrow's stories begin right here. Hashtag get screwed. Hashtag screw it forward. All other peanut butter whiskeys are posers. Screwball peanut butter whiskey is the one and only original peanut butter whiskey. Go get yourself a couple bottles. You wish you had two if you only get one, and drink Screwball whiskey responsibly. Come hang out with us in the greatest slice of the internet in the Kill Tony Discord at killdiscord.com, where all we have are good times. Subscribe to Kill Tony on youtube.com/KillTony. I'm Yonder, and I'm here with my boy Stosh. Say what's up, Stosh.
What up, everybody?
We are here ready to hash out a fantastic Alex Jones episode of Kill Tony. Goodness gracious alive. The great and powerful Alex Jones never disappoints. It was even funny to watch him play with Red Band, noticing that they were pissing Tony off and continuing to do so. I thought that was hilarious. And I love you, Tony. It was fun to watch. Such a fun episode. What'd you think about it, buddy?
Oh, who knew AJ was so funny? If his conspiracy show doesn't go well, he can always start a career in comedy. So,
oh no shit, dude. He could go back to being Bill Hicks
once and for all.
Yeah, he could go back to being Bill Hicks, dude. It's so funny having him up there, man, just because. Oh, and by the way, doesn't YouTube like censor all Alex Jones stuff? I don't want to but how does Kill Tony get past that threshold?
They're too big. They break the internet every time.
Big to cancel. How do you like that?
Too big to cancel. That's right.
Damn, dude, that's strong. Well,
they tick all the boxes. They got the token Hans Kim.
Oh yeah, the great and powerful Hans Kim. I was curious about I was very curious actually about what he was gonna say when he was asked, how do you feel about this thing that we do every week? How do you feel about the kiss Hans Kim thing? And he was like, yeah, I think it's great. Yada yada. Because you forget a little bit that Hans is like, he plays like Settlers of Catan. You know what I mean? Like, he's probably a nerd. This is probably the single greatest time of his life, for real.
Just driving from Starbucks to Starbucks to get free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean, living in the van and all of this, he's done some. Hey, look at there.
Oh, am I turned sideways?
No, you're good.
Beauty.
But yeah, just seeing him there, I mean, he seems to be having the time of his life, right?
Oh, he had a beautiful girl come up today. She knew the shtick.
Yeah.
And then he got a date out of it at the end.
Dude, that was awesome too, because she was pretty fucking good looking.
Hard nipples and all. Jeez.
I mean, it's hard. Look,
guy,
I was just about to say that. You don't know. All respect, ladies. I love you. You know this. I love you dearly. I'm telling you, it's distracting at times. Like,
itty bitty titty committee with hard nips standing on stage in a tube top.
And by the way,
Damn.
I enjoy a nice small handful, like a.
Yeah, he's either
Have I said too much? Are we getting canceled?
maybe at
Shit,
this
who's
point.
knocking at my door?
It was that
You canceled me
titty
already?
committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hans is either being set up for like a year-long Me Too, or he's the
Wow.
luckiest man in the universe. Like, he gets to kiss beautiful women every week. And I'm not going to be one of those naysayers. At times, yeah, it's got a little cringe, but I'm just envious. Maybe just outright jealous of this motherfucker at this point.
Yeah.
Hans, props.
I
Good on
think
you.
that's the point, though. I think the point is for him to make people jealous, and I think that's why this whole shtick is going on, and I enjoy it. I think it's funny.
You know, all these self-loathing, self-hating comedians sitting in their like dark rooms with their notepads, just being like, "God damn it!"
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna write a negative blog about this right now because it's not me.
And Tony's playing into it like crazy. Like, I can't believe all the negative comments coming out.
You know what, man? I was thinking about this a bit ago, and a lot of people have said, and by the way, I don't know that we've done an episode of this since the passing of the great Norm Macdonald, and would be remiss without saying a hearty rest in peace to the greatest of all time, in my opinion. But a lot of the comments that people made about Norm was that he was one of the last comedians that truly didn't give a fuck. Like that was one of his things. And I started to think a lot of the people that are saying these things probably aren't privy to Tony Hinchcliffe, because Tony also gives no fucks.
No fucks given.
Like
Zero fucks given.
Zero fucks.
Hashtag zero fucks given. Yeah, he's up there. He's getting to that point, and I think he likes his heel position. Like, I think
he's great at it.
Like, he is a roast master, so there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
The reason that he's so great at it is because there's a little sliver of truth in all of it, in him. And, like he has that in him. And it's like a dog that he is trained to sit at his side and just be patted until it's time to let go of the leash. You know what I mean? And he's so good at that. He gives no fucks.
Well, and a perfect example of that was tonight with the guy in advertising from LA. Yeah, of course you are. Just called him a douche over and over
in front of his
mother.
I love that too. And she was such a good sport about it. They were both.
Obviously fans of the show.
I love
and
that.
Her set was great.
By the way, Kill Tony's for the families. You heard it here first.
It brings people together every time. Fuck. What did she say? I had to pay $1,200, so
it was a good joke.
I had.
Yeah, she went.
I got felt up and fucked in the same day, or some shit.
Most action she's gotten in years. She said that she went to the shop and they told her that she had $1,200 more damage. And just like, oh yeah, so I got taken advantage of and fucked all in one day. Like that's a good joke. The only like her joke was good, the obvious putting the mic there thing, but
But then he just roasted her son. He was like, get what? He didn't write a minute? Made his mom sign up, gets him on stage, and just picks him apart, calling him a douche. You know, of course you're from LA.
I'm tweeting
Yeah,
this out because Dave usually does this part of it. I'm bad at this.
usually I pay a little better attention to the show, but it wasn't as bad as last week where I missed half of it.
Yeah, well, last week I also missed half of the show, and I didn't say anything about that on air. We talked about it a little beforehand, but my sister was in like a really bad car accident last Monday, and I found out about it during Kill Tony, so I missed half of the episode. We still went live with this show on schedule because I'm a goddamn professional. But yeah, she's actually still in the hospital. Like, she's gonna make it.
Girl.
She's gonna make it. She's gonna be fine, slowly but surely. It's gonna be a long road to recovery, but she's gonna be fine. But yeah, I missed half of the episode, and if you watch last week's episode, that's what was going on with me that entire time. If you were wondering, so there's that.
Yeah,
anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, all three of us were kind of juggling. I don't think any of us had watched the full episode in time when we went live, and I think it showed. But I found it interesting. We had been talking about Norm, and then everybody got the news and was completely devastated. But, you know, it's such a fucking straight shooter, telling it how it is, unfiltered, dying at 61. Just 9 years he knew he had cancer, and you know he's going to be missed by a lot of greats. And now it's time for Mr. Henchcliffe to step up his game and just keep doing what he's doing.
Look, dude. That guy that came up. By the way, it was nice to see the two girls out of the bucket in the beginning. The bucket was strong with the female. The bucket was full of estrogen this evening, so all those getting women to sign up, please, that they've been putting out have worked. There was one guy who got up and made the there's no publicity, like, or there's no such thing as bad publicity or whatever.
Yeah. I got a question to ask you, Tony. He ended his set with a question.
Right.
And then answered it. And
then, yeah, for sure. So just that being said, it was hilarious. It was fucking hilarious that Tony was like, yes, actually, I do know that, you know, because his, and just as Dave went through the things last, by the way, we murdered Dave. We killed Dave. We killed off, we wrote off his character. He rode off into the sunset. We'll come back next week and find out how we did it.
He was the first, but he won't be the last.
This is true.
We're Kill Discord, where serial killers are made.
Sponsored by America's National Park System. But no, it's Dave pointed out last week, I think, how many more views the episodes have gotten after the quote unquote cancellation, and the numbers don't lie. People like Kill Tony now a little bit more than they did before the situation caused by a man who I will not dignify by naming.
Dang.
Dang, man.
No,
Dang
fuck
me.
that shit.
Dang me.
I think like the whole PC cancel culture bullshit came back to bite a lot of people in the ass
Yeah.
that was on that train, where it went off the rails. We lost a lot of like great people to a bunch of like bullshit Me Too stuff. And I mean, I'm not shaming any victims, or I mean, it's terrible when bad shit happens, but the people who lost their careers over this situation, what, this was nearly 2 to 3 years ago at the height of it, and maybe it was like a symptom of Trump's America or some bullshit, but uh, it hurt. I think like when you saw like an idol get taken off their pedestal for some like something as stupid as beating off in front of a chick in a hotel room, like,
With
yeah,
consent.
you can't you can't greet somebody with a kiss on the cheek because it's considered sexual assault at this point, or which led into 6 feet of social distancing and everybody having to cover up their face like they're living in Afghanistan, where the world's fucking gone screwy. Let's just face it. Like,
Oh, yeah. But man,
just a,
businesses are booming, right? For in Kill Tony land.
yeah, and I don't see them going anywhere. It's only getting more popular. Like even having Alex Jones on, having a bit of a controversial figure, he's hilarious. He doesn't shut up.
He's so good for the show.
Like,
He shuts up when it's time. Through the 60 seconds when he's supposed to, he's good.
but I'm surprised somebody with like, yeah, he's in front of cameras and he's a great speaker. I'm sure he's done a lot of like public speaking events,
Yeah.
but he's not a veteran comedian. He hasn't done his roast battles or like put together a solid 15. That fucking what,
The meerkat thing
was hilarious.
dude, when he got up and jumped next to that one dude, he's so involved in making the show entertaining. And dude, that's a model guest, like
Yeah,
that's literally
man.
a model guest. Someone who wants to make the show entertaining.
No, I'm divided. Do we like a drunk Alex Jones or a sober Alex Jones?
Dude, honestly, I didn't notice much of a difference. He seemed just as ready to get up and jump up and down next to a dude to see who could jump higher, or the other thing that he did, the meerkat thing, as he was to sniff this hot girl's feet. Like,
Yeah.
he was just as ready to do things as a sober guy as he was on the booze. So I love it. That's
Okay,
by the way,
that.
big ups to you, Alex. 25 years. That's a well done right there. I love that the sobriety is spreading, man.
Yeah.
Ron White.
You think it's a one-time shot for him, or is he just? Yeah, I don't.
The
I'm
fact
all
that he
for
says
it.
the first time in 25 years makes me think that it's not a one-off thing. That he's thought about how long it's been since he's not been drunk.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Alcohol fucking doesn't show people's best selves, and getting a sober version, you do get their best self from that. Like, I mean, it's a little bit of liquid courage. It goes a long way, but I'm with you on that. I like to see the sobriety spreading a little bit,
Yeah,
because we've
man.
all been so fucked up for so long. Where
And weed's enough.
and nobody can attack your credibility. If you're pissed drunk or high off your ass on pills or blow or
Yeah.
some fucking wacky shit, there's too much there to attack where it's a nice change. We've all seen each other completely off our rocker. We may as well just like show our best selves at this point. And
yeah, man.
like I got nothing against drugs or alcohol. People are free to do whatever the fuck they want as long as they're not hurting others. But that shit, like 25, 30 years of drinking every night catches up to people. And soon enough, you got a big whiskey nose. You're slobbering all over yourself, sniffing girls' feet. It might be time to take a long, hard look in the mirror and be like, fuck.
Man, I've been there, dude. I go back and watch videos of me just talking on the mic when I was still drinking, and this is embarrassing to say the least. This is somewhat off subject, but go ahead.
As I'm drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes, drinking cigarettes and smoking coffee at 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah. How do you? How does everybody else do it?
Yeah, to each our own, right?
But yeah, I have you seen by any chance the Ari Shaffir episode of Whiskey Ginger that came out the other day?
No.
It's pretty good, and honestly, I haven't watched any Whiskey Ginger. I don't think I've watched 2 or 3 episodes, maybe. Like, it's not something, but Ari I love, so I'm gonna watch anything he does with anybody. He actually has done a 2 Bears 1 Cave with Bert that I need to watch too. But sidebar, they were talking about, don't you hate that all of our friends are going sober because we're losing drinking buddies? And he's like, I know. Like, they're both talking about just everybody going sober and how they don't have drinking buddies anymore. It was just a funny conversation.
Yeah. 2021, fucking the year of maturing.
Yeah.
Bunch of 50-year-olds.
And I like that, man. I really do. I think it says a lot about somebody who wants to do something to better themselves. And, or at least I hope that's what this is, and not just like a clout thing.
Yeah, just like the drugs or alcohol, it's the perpetual use. So you're not thinking clearly. Maybe you're coming up with good material or like getting through the day off your rocker. And a lot of people become functional addicts and then wake up to it way too late. So if you can nip it in the bud before it fucking blooms, like I know that the cancer sticks are fucking killing me, but it's one or the other. Like, we all have vices, and I don't shame people for fucking wanting to like take a load off and relax after work or on a weekend, but people don't realize it before it's too late. Then you're dropping E in your buddy's drink. I'm surprised Bert had Ari back. It was like, fuck, I think that put a rift in their relationship for a little while.
Apparently, Bert's wife is very much still upset about that, but I haven't watched the new 2 Bears 1 Cave. There may be a new development in the story, but last I heard, she was very much upset about that.
Bert needs to GHB Ari just to get him back.
Yeah.
Got you. Wake up with a broomstick in his ass.
He took it. He took it. I love it though.
Yeah. Who else was on tonight?
We had
couple wet blankets, couple wet paper
couple of
bags,
wet paper bags. The one guy was kind of funny. The Philly guy, the Southern guy.
Fuck, they gave him like a 6-ounce shot of Jameson.
Yeah, he was
That
kind of
classy.
funny. He was kind of funny. Yeah, that was cool, man. That's a huge fucking shot, dude. Like I know how big those cups are, and that was a fucking hoss of a shot.
He said he was driving home. He was passed out in the back seat before the show was finished.
No shit, dude. You could
that's
see
one
it
of
go
those...
to him instantly too. You could just see how much drunker he got right then.
Yeah, like I was drinking light beer before this, and now he can hardly get off the stage. But like, that's a perfect scenario where he took. Maybe it was shitty getting kicked out of Catholic school as a 15-year-old kid or whatever. And he turned it into his moment. He used it for some good, where some of the funniest jokes are the ones that are like built with some truth in them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it worked out. He kind of had the long pause where he was drinking his beer on stage, but
that showed to me that he was comfortable, you know, that he was.
Yeah, he said he was working up in New York or doing open mics in New York, and just that typical like Northeast confidence where it's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about anything. I'm from Philadelphia. Fuck yourselves.
I totally didn't hear Philadelphia, dude. He sounded like somebody that's from here, like where I'm from. He sounded like someone like he had a country sounding voice to be from somewhere like Philadelphia to me.
He's a chameleon. He said where he was in Philly or New York, then Hollywood or LA, and then Austin, and was like, I don't know, when you have a thick, stupid accent like a Canadian one, you kind of shift and like try to blend in, use people's like semantic mannerisms. Or,
yeah,
it's probably the alcohol talking, but he was good.
Yeah, he
I don't know
was
why
pretty
he
good.
took his hat off halfway through the set.
Yeah, that wasn't a good idea.
It's like, here, costume change.
Yeah. Stick with what you got there in the beginning. But yeah, he was funny. The guy that came up after him was the guy that had the long hair that cut his hair. And he said that he had gotten he got kicked off stage early in the last time he was up, and I'm pretty sure that he was just as exciting as a glass of water guy from a couple episodes ago.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, you mentioned it to Tony.
Jokes.
Nah, me neither.
Actually, was that the guy who ended with the question about the bad publicity? Was that the same guy?
No, different dude.
Okay.
But he was equally as bad. Yeah, that's where I kind of like stopped paying attention, because Tony could recognize it immediately that he wasn't bringing anything, and the highlight of his life had been on being on Kill Tony previously.
Yeah,
he mentioned it.
So what did you talk about in your interview?
I don't know, you got to bring the heat. If you're going to attempt to get up 2-3 times, you'd hope there'd be some progress where you'd want to be remembered, not just stuck in this rut where Tony's like, okay, moving on. But let's not forget to mention our raspy voice
Bianca, the young
sliced up
Bianca.
jeans. Looked like she got in a fight with a tiger before she walked up on stage.
I mean, isn't that what the kids are wearing these days?
Damn.
I love it. I absolutely loved it. She had that raspy Annie Letterman voice. I liked it.
Little bit of Grace Kelly in there.
Yeah. I mean, she had great energy. She came out like a bag of cocaine, just jumped out of the bag and grabbed the microphone and was like, "What's going on, everybody?"
Yeah. Dropping
Yeah.
F-bombs.
Yeah.
Just good to see. Like, it's nice to have a female presence where for a while there it just was like fucking all dudes. Where Tony's begging chicks to come up. Anybody, we have a female in the audience.
Right. Yeah, the bucket was very estrogen heavy this evening, and I like to see that.
Did I notice they changed the well, I think they did. They took the samurai sword away and put a golden Glock pistol on the table?
Yeah.
Did you happen to catch that?
Yes, I did. That actually happened a couple of weeks ago where Tony pointed that out at the beginning of the episode where he said, we used to have a sword here, but I accidentally put it in the wrong golf bag when I went to move, and it's misplaced somewhere apparently. But now, since they're in Austin, they have a golden gun that just sits there. It's fucking cool.
And Tony looking like he's an extra from Cry Macho.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks like one of the bad guys in Django.
Trying to get cast in the new Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I think Texas
Great
looks
show.
good on Kill Tony. Or Kill Tony looks good on Texas, maybe. Is that the way to say that?
Yeah, it's been a nice fit. They needed a change. The band was like becoming, the old band was becoming too much
Of a sideshow?
They were really overshadowing what Tony brings to the table. And I like, he's the fucking ringmaster. Like it's a bit of a circus. And like, I think last episode he made a comment with the music where it's like, yeah, Jeremiah playing like his sax.
He said that. Yeah, he said that in the interview with me at Antone's.
That's what it was from.
Yeah, after we did the Golden Girls song and the band just kind of fell in and just started playing the song. Like, he was like, dude, it would have taken Jeremiah. Beep, burp, burp, it was so funny. But he was right. And yeah, not to interrupt.
And
no, yeah. Continue.
Truth hurts, man. The truth hurts. No, go ahead.
Yeah,
like, I love Jeremiah. I think
Same.
he's like a talented, hot comedian, but fuck. I don't know. I just felt like the direction of the show being in Texas is really working out with like them having full creative control of the show. But I'm just gonna grab my smokes here.
Yeah, no worries. I miss Joel. I miss Joel Berg, man. Like that.
Yeah, the Mexican drum offs and
that, and just he seemed like he wouldn't chime in unless it was funny, like funny. You know, he wasn't just saying everything that came to the top of his head like Jeremiah seemed to be doing. You know, like, it's like cutting a pie in too many slices when you have that many people on stage with a microphone.
Yes, definitely. He was getting a little loose by the end of, like, there was that whole like comfort zone being at the Comedy Store where like I don't blame him for it. Like, he had done some really radical shit while on stage, like the backflips and the coming out with a strap-on dildo, and
Yep.
that shit was class act, and it made for a great show. But I like this direction they've taken, where you don't have the band overshadowing. It's hard enough being an amateur comedian and doing your 1 minute, trying to bring the heat. And Jeremiah would pipe in and take stabs at people who were essentially doing the same shit that he had tried to do just years before. Like, everybody's just trying to get an opportunity or a chance to be seen, and nobody's gonna roast you better than Mr. Henchcliffe himself.
Yeah, and honestly, dude, he has such a good eye for knowing when someone is a legitimate piece of shit. And if he doesn't see that you're a legitimate piece of shit, he's going to be kind to you when he roasts you. He'll roast you, but then like be kind to you about it. But if he sees you're a piece of shit, no holds barred, and you get what you deserve.
Yeah, every single time. And Jeremiah, because he was, to me, he was a little green. Like, again, with that, like, wanting to be everybody's friend. It's a very specific talent to be able to roast people that way, where it just doesn't come off as mean. Like, Tony doesn't come off as a mean dude. That there's nothing lost, that it's a joke, that it's always, yeah, this is my job. I'm going to fucking peel you back. Like, you're coming up with thick skin. Well, let's just chip away at that old block for a second. And I don't know, Jeremiah would sit up there in his Halloween costume and try to rip people. And that wasn't his job. That wasn't his role. And I think that's where Tony was getting overshadowed, where it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, I just want to do my job, man. Like, I get paid to roast people. Like,
he just, it opened too many opportunities for his jokes and his punchlines to be stepped on.
That's it. We had discussed this before, where he'll propose a question that he's already thought out the punchline to. So, like, tonight he was asking the dude, "Oh, do you play soccer? Oh, like, what do you do?" Right? He had one lined up, just ready for it.
He has
like,
to figure out. He has to figure out a way to get them to say the thing that's going to make his joke hit hardest.
And he's so good at it. Like, I wasn't always aware of it until we had talked about it. And I'm noticing it more and more, where he's taking notes, even that he's writing that formula down and just waiting for the person to answer with exactly what he had in mind to just knock him down. Like, because people are predictable, right? It's the same, especially if you're a writer, that I'm sure he's done probably we're on episode 520 plus at this point.
Like that.
So 10 people come up a week. That's 5,000 interviews. You probably hear a lot of the same generic answers, and he wants something new and fresh. And
which he got tonight when the girl said clean, by the way.
Yeah, smoke meth and clean my house.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or was it she liked Adderall or smoking weed?
Probably a little of both.
Yeah.
I think she might have liked the powder.
Definitely wasn't reading books. That wasn't her go-to.
But speaking of reading books, the great Bilal Swain of the Vulcan Gas Company did a very good job tonight, man. That blimp plane 9/11 thing, that was clever.
I missed his set.
Oh, really?
I know who you're talking about. I stood up and walked out of the room right when he went up. But elaborate on that for me.
Okay. So, and Bilal, sorry if I'm butchering your joke, friend. He said that there's shootings all the time, and people always blame shootings on the guns. They say there's a shooting, we need to get rid of the guns. He said that's just like someone after 9/11 happened saying we have to get rid of planes. He said we're going to have to go back to blimps.
It's all these planes in there.
Imagine a blimp trying to fly into the World Trade Center, and he just made the noise like boing, boop. It was so funny, dude. Like, so clever, man. And it killed. It was one of those jokes that you tell a story for an entire minute and you get the big payoff at the end, and it worked. Instead of it being like quick punch.
And it's a dark subject matter. So it ends up being like you're ending with like a cutesy.
Yeah.
There's something funny about a blimp bouncing off a skyscraper.
Yeah, so good, man. Dude, he's smart. He's a good writer, man. You could just tell that, like, just by the shit that he's into. He said he reads a lot. And like you can tell that he is just a clever writer. That's a really clever way to say something that would freak a lot of people out.
Yeah. And this episode must have been shot before, because the dude mentioned it, and his birthday was on September 11th.
Yeah, this was like the week prior. Yeah.
So this was shot prior. Well, that's edgy content. It's like right on the forefront of people's like thought process, and to make light of it is killer, and to get a laugh. So it's because they knew he was worked at the Vulcan. I almost thought he was going to be like a new regular, or I don't know.
Well,
speaking of regulars, Lucas was good tonight too.
Man, David Lucas, dude, his bits are getting. You could just tell that he is just taking a snippet from his. Like, his set is strong now, dude. He's been working. He's out headlining clubs and shit.
Traveling all over the country.
Yeah, man.
Tony tried to beat up on him. What was it? He said when a girl says she feels she's or she got an empty stomach, I put a baby in her. And then Tony said, when you got an empty stomach, you put you call Domino's or whatever. Yeah, you order a pizza.
Yeah,
you order a pizza.
That's it.
And then he came back at Tony and said, when you go to a barbecue, you ask for a hot dog with no bun on it. You get an empty stomach, you stick a hot dog up your ass.
It's so fun. They say that they just go back and forth and they don't repeat each other. They don't repeat themselves a lot. Like it's the same subject matter. It's fat jokes and gay jokes, but they're so good because they're new every week. It's a new fat joke or a new gay joke.
Yeah, I know he's turned out to be a great regular because he's bringing good representation for the show. He's getting out to like other audiences, and yeah, if he's on the comedy circuit, I'm sure he brings a lot of fans to Kill Tony. And I mean, that's not the expectation, but that's the consequence of having somebody like continually practice. And like, I think he's going to become more of a household name if he isn't already. Like, I've caught him on Instagram Live a few times, and he'll like do roasts. People seem to really like his shit, and he's got fucking skin like a rhinoceros. Like,
he's great at it, man. You're right, dude. Thick skin. That's the most important thing is thick skin. Like,
that's a tough bit, man. Getting people throwing roast jokes at you, it can really fucking attack the psyche. It's not for the faint of heart. And he's just a mean motherfucker.
And him and Tony just do it so well. They go back and forth, laughing the whole time, and the harder it hits, the harder they laugh. I love that. Like, you just see there's love in these bits, in these jokes. Yeah. It's like, it's hilarious. Now, you were talking about regulars, and well, before I do this, we should also talk about the Big Red Machine as well. Because I think the other comic, the comic that came up at the end at the one bucket pull where Tony was like, we can't leave it like that. You know what I mean? Like, we can't leave it like that. We have to go to the bucket again. And I think that was when Bilal Swain came up. Wasn't it? Wasn't that Bilal Swain?
Yeah, second last, I think.
Yeah. That because William was last, correct?
Yeah. Which is a great closer.
Man, he just comes out with the heat every fucking night. Every time. All of his jokes are just they all are so clever. I know I said that word a lot. They're so clever. Little sentences.
Wasn't even for me. It wasn't the jokes tonight. It was after the set when he brought out, and he's pointing to the balconies, and he's hucking bread
so hard down. He's looking up and just throwing it.
He's looking up and throwing it.
That had to have been so funny in person. And I mean, he was firing these pieces of bread like.
He's been eating so much raisin bread that a loaf went stale. So it's like rock hard pieces of bread right at people.
Yeah, he's just knocking out old ladies. His blood gushing everywhere.
Poking eyes out.
And what can you say about that? Oh, and fucking Alex Jones tried to put the bag over his head. It just wouldn't fit.
Raisin bread head. Raisin head. What were they calling him?
I can't remember.
Like, fuck. I don't know how Alex Jones is so funny in a comedy setting. Like, I'm really surprised. Like, yeah, he's fucking boisterous, but he's just, what was he saying? He's like, don't ever forget it, but you came out the tip of my dick.
Oh yeah. We all swam out of the tip of our dad's dick. It's like yeah.
and still throwing in the conspiracy shit, and Tony's just like, oh, okay, like enough. Building 7, look into it.
He's like, this isn't very good for comedy setting, but
the CIA had their headquarters in Building 7, and they said they were gonna blow the building.
Dude, what's so
he
funny?
Can't help himself.
He said the one woman said they said you were mean, but you're nice, or something like that, and yeah, don't listen to MSNBC.
They all get it wrong.
So, I wanted to ask you how you feel about this. We're talking about regulars, and the great and powerful Michael Lair, who has bid us adieu and retired from Kill Tony, R.I.P. Not Jesus, that's awful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So he is posting on social media that Hans Kim and Charlie Rocket have taken everything from me. Do you think it's a bit, or do you think there is some truth to what he's saying?
Oh, it's a bit. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's just rubbing it. He's just rubbing their nose in it. They probably look up to him.
Of course.
I
hope
he gracefully bowed out on his own accord. I think Tony has said in the past that he's welcome on the show right till the end. I don't know if his health is given out to the point where he ain't giving up on comedy. Like, I swear, because there's that story in the news going around with
I keep leaning
the
up
chick
the fart
and her
and I just
boyfriend.
can't do it.
Well, just don't shit yourself.
Yeah, I've been trying not to.
I saw him. He posted a pic of the boyfriend who supposedly killed his girlfriend in the national park. It was
Hans Kim's, man. Yeah.
So he wants to be a part of it still, and like he is. Like,
he's still so funny.
I hope the Vulcan puts a fucking wall of fame up for these dudes, because they brought so much talent through those doors. And
well, I think that's what the mural up top is, basically. Like,
oh, that's right. Yeah, nobody asked me. They just did it.
Yeah.
William. So
yeah, I'm up there. I look like a fucking clown.
Yeah, he's literally Pennywise. William is Pennywise.
Dude, it's so good, man. I can't wait to see it in person in a couple weeks. It's just a couple weeks away, Stashi.
Yeah. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, one day at a time, right? Speaking of getting ahead of ourselves, when's Rogan opening his comedy fucking, what is it? I can't, I'm drawing a blank. When's Rogan's place opening? His comedy club.
Every time I hear like it's a couple months away. Like, every time I hear about it, it's like, yeah, I'm thinking about opening up in November. And I don't know if it's going to be Cap City, if that's what he was thinking about, was just buying Cap City. But I love the Vulcan so much. Like, it's just a nice little fucking like a like, and nothing against the Vulcan when I say this, but it's like a nice little dirty comedy club. You know what I mean? Like I love it. It reminds me of the bar that I used to manage here in Murrells Inlet, you know, where it was just like, it was run by misfits and nothing against it. I mean this with all the love, like, cause, and I'm one of those. I'm one of these misfits that
concrete
used to run
floors, dust falling from the
I love
rafters,
it,
black
man.
lit. Yeah.
Oh, it's black walls. Like the stage looks rustic. You know, it's fucking nice. The Atlanta Braves just defeated the Arizona Diamondbacks like 11-4.
Damn.
Roll Tribe, and we're gonna check the MLB standings right now to see if the Philadelphia Phillies lost. And we are 2.5 games ahead, so maybe they had the day off. Either way, we got it that time, Stosh. I farted that time. I leaned up 4 times to do it, and I haven't been able to yet.
Fucking clear the room.
I needed to get that out. It's been bothering me. Anyway, man, I don't know if Kill Tony would move to Rogan's Club, but you would expect it to, I think. And
yeah, lower expectations. Because, like I say, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm definitely not fucking putting this together. But Adam Eget moved out there, and I thought was like the new talent coordinator. I thought things were in motion, that we would have seen this happen sooner than later. And maybe they're just waiting for like COVID restrictions to come to an end. Not that there are any in Texas, but the people are over the fear mongering that's coming from mainstream media, and not downplaying fucking the loss of life or whatever the hell it is, but
right.
Rogan's got to think about his, bottom line at the end of the day. And I'm sure if people are freely traveling across the land, the second he opens those doors, there's going to be lineups. And what, biggest fucking YouTuber in the world, practically.
Like, I don't think he cares about money at all. Like, I think that's just one of those things where he just does what he wants to do because he doesn't have to think about money. Because he's
going to have an endless line of amazing talent come through that door.
For sure.
Like Theo, Bert, Ari, Tom, Tom Papa.
All of our favorite comedians.
Joey Diaz is sitting there saying, "Oh, I got no I don't need to do comedy anymore. I have no interest in it." Until Rogan opens his club, he'll be down in Austin within a week.
That's what I'm thinking, dude.
Headlining.
What about? Yeah, he'll be down there for sure. But I'm thinking that maybe when his daughter gets a little older, and I mean, it might be when we might get old man Joey in Austin. Like straight up old man Joey in Austin after his daughter's graduated and everything, and he,
like a Don Rickles just shaking up there, still telling the fucking.
Well, let me tell you something, cocksuckers. I'd love it, dude.
Yeah.
But no, I want to see Joey. But man, I'm gonna be out there in a couple weeks, and I'm gonna be part of that community, man. And I'm stoked and a little bit overwhelmed by the thought.
Yeah, I want it. You got Munford Davis to lead you by the hand.
My best friend Munford Davis,
spots.
dude.
Shout out Munford Davis.
My best friend Munford Davis, JP, is there right now. He and Munford Davis were hanging out together last night. we all plan, and we'll see how this goes. We all plan to get a house together. Like they actually have a couple of meetings set up to go look at a place tomorrow, and that same person manages several other things. So I think having a person there, IRL, going out and doing these things, and I feel like shit because I'm going to reap the benefits of something I'm not doing the work for. You know what I mean? Like I like if we get this house, they're the ones that are out there doing the legwork to do the shit, and I feel like I should do more, but I can't because I'm here. But just the innate feeling in me to like pull my to carry my weight. You know what I mean?
You gotta carry lots of shit down there, so it's enough work as is for you. Just be thankful that you have a peace of mind that you're gonna show up in that city, have a place to roost, settle in nicely, and just carry on. That's what friends are for. They're good dudes. They're willing to do it. You're not asking too much of them, and yeah, I'm stoked for you. I'm happy to hear that you've taken the opportunity, and yeah, knock on wood, but I'm sure nothing but positive's gonna come out of it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to see what happens next. You know?
Things. I just have this feeling that, like, I would troll it a bit that Austin was never going to be the mecca of comedy, but the proof is in the pudding. It has grown. That, like, musicians, artists, comedians have all flocked there. It's a liberal enough area that it is becoming what people imagined it to be. And it's going to be a destination, whether you like it or not. Like, things have changed. We're not in the same place we were 2-3 years ago before all this shit started.
Yep.
And by the sheer, like, dominance of it, that it's becoming, people like Red Band and Tony Rogan, people have taken that opportunity and they're owning it. And, like, it's crazy to hear all the people from across the United States and further. There's Canadians going down there to do their sets, where it's something. It's not nothing. That, like, there's got to be some places in LA that are really rattled that it may never be the way it was. And if restrictions don't lax, well, freedom's a motherfucker, and
Yep.
people like it. So take the opportunity now. It's presented itself, and I don't only wish you success. I wish anyone who takes that opportunity to, like, we're only here once, and before you know it, it's passed you by. And, like, I'm envious of all of you, and fucking wish to make it down there one day and humiliate myself on stage. But
I would love to see that.
my special talent, teddy bear stands.
But man, that I don't know. Austin is a special place for comedy right now, and I've said several times in, like, maybe this podcast, but for sure the other night in virtual Red Band, which Red Band should be going live at some point, but it's a little late now. So if he's not, he might not be. But anyway, you are familiar with outlaw country music. like Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson,
Oh
Merle
yeah,
Haggard.
yeah, yeah.
So Nashville, which I am comparing to L.A., Nashville country music in the 70s had the Nashville sound. And if you didn't adhere to the Nashville sound or the Nashville way of life, they would be excommunicated, which is where people like Willie and Waylon and all these guys ended up moving to Austin, Texas, and literally starting outlaw country music, which is everybody's preferable, genre of country is outlaw country.
The more palatable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that comedy is doing the same thing. I think that we're experiencing outlaw comedy because LA, with its PC culture, in a way,
excommunicated
a lot. Yeah, and like I'm comparing LA comedy scene to Nashville's country music scene in their respective time periods, and I think that people going to Austin, dude, literally anything goes in Austin. Like they don't care, and people are saying shit that they honestly shouldn't say, using words they shouldn't use, and not getting laughs. Like what's the old saying? If nobody laughs, it's just you're just racist. Like if nobody laughs, you're just a racist. So
yeah, that they're liberal enough to allow people to say what they want, but they're not ostracizing them for. It's that PC culture. It goes back to like losing idols or like respected, talented fucking comedians that got the harsh end of the stick. Like I don't know, that you shouldn't be filtered. You shouldn't be shunned for doing or saying something that's I don't know. I can agree with you on it that yeah, you can say it, but it's not always going to garner a laugh. And
yeah, and
but at
then
least
at that point,
it.
is the juice worth the squeeze? But that's beside the point. They're saying it and getting away with it because the art form is still intact there, which is why I kind of think Tim Dillon was shitting on Austin so bad, was because he wanted to prevent more people from showing up, because it's such a nice spot right now to where too many people could taint it. It's already almost to that point. And I'm going to go out there and add on to it. But I don't know,
he fits into that scene nicely, but please add.
No, but that's what I'm going to say. I'm going out there to add into that. Like, I'm going to be one of those people
yeah.
I'm going to be one of those people that just showed up to Austin to, I'm going out west to get my gold. You know what I mean? Like,
fucking A.
I've put in my time here. I'm the crab. I'm the lobster who needs to shed his shell as to grow a new one. I've outgrown my shell.
And I just think LA bit itself in the ass.
Yep.
Where you saw it with the movie industry, like being shot in Georgia, and people just fucking packed up and left. They can get a bunch of talent anywhere in the country, but they're not going to be taxed to death or for whatever reason, like COVID restrictions or this. I mean, there's something beautiful about it because it's life goes on, and they're keeping it funny. It's like what you had said about Norm. He just didn't give a fuck. Like, you shouldn't have to go up and self-censor because you're worried about rubbing people the wrong way.
Yep.
Like it does an injustice to the art of comedy that and you're hearing a lot of it where like a bunch of social media influencers would get up on stage and just bomb after bomb because they wanted the clout or they wanted like to practice public speaking, but it was really missing that nobody's given fame. It comes through hard work. It's the same as David Lucas, where his minute comes easy now.
Yeah.
He kills it. He has enough material. He's not repeating himself. He's not giving the same shit every week. But you can see him grow on that stage, and like it's fucking rad to see. Like Tony fits in perfectly where yeah, maybe LA was holding some of these guys back.
Yeah, man. I mean, everybody talks about how in Austin you're 2.5 hours from everywhere on the coast. You're 2.5 hours from either coast. So from LA, say you have to fly east, that's a 5-hour flight. Now you're literally 2.5 hours away from your destination in Austin as a hub. It just seems like a good idea if you're someone who travels the country a lot to be in a more central location. Like everything's less, you save money because the flights aren't as expensive because you don't have to go as far. It sounds like a win-win to me.
And I got this idea where the internet is your main street. You don't need to, like, there's a lot of beggars and people fucking pandering for money. And that's fine. You can sit in the comfort of your home and spew your bullshit, be a cult leader, have your followers, rub one out, whatever it is, OnlyFans or YouTube or Twitch, gaming.
Yeah.
But Austin is like the strip, like you say about Nashville, or like it's becoming a destination. And all it needs is that influx of like talent. And I'm not even sure if it's money. It's already established. And it isn't this like rough and tumble place where it's I don't know. I don't have, maybe my opinion means shit, but it's not overly conservative where it's not just fucking cowboy boots and big belt buckles and cattle herders, where it's opening the door. That is America. Like, it's that American dream that you can live out of your frickin' car and try to make it, whether it's through music or theater or comedy, whatever the hell it is you do. That can be your place. And it's not this main street, it's the strip. It's where people want to be, on 6th, drinking booze, shooting the shit. And it's networking that like a lot of people are coming together and making a living out of it. It's really cool to see, actually, where I've stopped trolling it, saying that one thing I know for sure is a lot of serial killers have moved to Austin, Texas in the last year. Like,
that's statistically correct. If you would think about it. Here's the thing too, by the way, man. If you were a serial killer, would you move to a place where there's a lot of homeless and just do the homeless thing?
Maybe you're more likely to get away with it then, but
because you would think there's not a lot of people looking for them when they go missing. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, and with Amazon, you can't become a vacuum cleaner salesman anymore. People just deliver
Yeah.
that shit to your door.
Yeah, you can't go door to door selling accordions no more. You know, you can't
You wanna
go
buy
door to
these-
door selling a set of encyclopedias no more.
Exactly.
We've got all the encyclopedias on our phone. You know, if you're going door to door selling something, it better be Girl Scout cookies. But you don't even have to do that because they're setting up Girl Scout cookie booths all over the place. You go to them.
Yeah, they team up with Amazon. The cookie market is fucking going downhill.
The cookies are so goddamn good, they don't even have to deliver them anymore because they know you'll come get them.
Yeah. I've never had a Girl Scout cookie in my life.
Oh, man.
I've heard a lot about them.
Can I send food across the border?
Yeah. Nor have I had a Girl Scout, but
That's for the best, for sure.
Yeah. There are laws.
Yeah. So can I send you Girl Scout cookies across the border? Is that a thing?
I don't believe so.
Can't be food.
Food's a difficult one. It's weird because we get our whatever. We get our fruit from California, but if it's got the sticker saying that it's from California, you can't bring it back into the States if you're in a car.
Yeah.
So you have to take the sticker off and claim like, no, these are Canadian grown oranges.
Oh, wow.
Which we don't grow oranges in Canada, but
That's pretty wild. I promise these
pricks.
I promise these are good old Canadian oranges.
And the border's still closed. We can fly in, but people still can't drive. You guys are allowed to come up here, spend your dollars, but we can't go down there yet.
We can't come back.
That's right. You're never allowed to return. It's like draft dodging in the 70s.
Huh?
Never allowed to return.
Oh, you mean like what Bill Clinton did?
Was he a draft dodger?
You know, Bill Clinton murdered. What was that? Norm Macdonald. All right, there we go. Demonetized.
Yeah.
Well, Stashi, we've been at it for an hour and 17 minutes, pal. You know what's funny is we said that if it's going well, we'll keep going. We were only planning to do like a half hour or so to start with. This was good. This went well.
Yeah, I was begging people to come in here. I was hoping we'd get a good group tonight, but
yeah, well,
we're just chopped liver.
Yeah, what are we, chopped liver? Well, you know what? We're here.
I wrote a joke this week that said, "Hey, you hear about that new Star Wars movie they're coming out with? It's called Paul Blart, Darth Mall Cop, starring Kevin James."
That's pretty good, Stash.
I don't know where I come up with this shit.
That's pretty good.
They must be running out of ideas in Hollywood.
Yeah, that's what I hear. But
it's like getting a sushi burrito. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, who needs that large of a piece of sushi? It's just at that point, what are we doing here? Stashi, tell them where to follow you on social media, dog.
Check me out on YouTube, Stosh James Peterson. I vlog and do some stupid shit on there. Not too active on Instagram, but I'm Stashy Polsky there. Once in a while I'll post some cool shit. Check me out, and as always, Yonder, this has been a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah, pleasure having you. At Stashy Polsky on Instagram, at Stosh James Peterson on YouTube. Do go and subscribe to him. I am subscribed and I follow as well. And as I understand, he also is on a lot of THC open mics.
Oh, that's
Instagram
right.
As well. And I missed a bunch of those last week, but I actually enjoyed doing those the other day. It's the THC virtual open mic on Instagram, correct?
Yeah, we'll give our friend Corky a shout out. He does the Super Silly Sunday show on Twitch.
Simply
I'm
Don
sure
the
you'd
Twitch.
appreciate Simply Don the Twitch. Check it out. It's some good times.
Ding Dong Show is actually live right now.
Oh, hell yeah. The great Don Barris.
The great and powerful Don Barris, indeed. So yeah, I'm Yonder Wizard, at Yonder Wizard, ZZERD, everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all over the place. Discord, all over the place. So yeah, Yonder Wizard, and also subscribe to Red Band's YouTube channel, youtube.com/redband. Watch Virtual Red Band. I jump on Virtual Red Band with him for, I try to do as many episodes as I can. Sometimes it's, I'm lazy, so what can you do? But I jump in there a lot. So watch Virtual Red Band. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram. I want a lot of Instagram followers. That's what I want. I want to get that. I want a lot of Instagram followers. I got honest right there at the end. I said, just fucking follow me. I want a lot of
Just
followers.
follow
okay?
me. God damn it, I need this, you guys.
Go unfollow. How about this? Go unfollow Dave.Sarah for not showing up tonight after telling us he was going to jump in.
Thanks for nothing, Dave.
Actually, thanks for, you know what, Dave? Just about, fall asleep next week too, man. This was actually a pretty good episode. Just kidding. We miss Dave. We'll see you next week. Follow us everywhere. Say bye, Stashi.
Peace out, everybody. Have a great week ahead.